You know, did it work? Did you win? Okay. Right, so before I sort of go into that question, I'm going to go into what actually happened after, after the last instalment. Well, the videos actually go up to the point where I get arrested and I'm put in the back of the car. Um, and after I think the last video, part four, essentially, I'm on a radio show talking about what happened afterwards in the station. So that's essentially what happened. I was taken to a police station. I I didn't I didn't actually give them any details. I was passive, non-compliant. Um, the only thing I did do, which I guess I didn't have to do, was that when they decided to want to take more property off me, in this case my fingerprints, I basically I lodged the fact that I'm refusing to do it, and they not refusing to do it, but I'm not complying. I allowed them to move my hand up to the plate, but whenever they wanted to take the picture, I just moved my hand. Now I could have just done that once to lodge, because eventually what they did is, they kept taking me back to a cell and then bringing me out again with more police officers to hold me, and finally they handcuffed me and basically forced me, by applying pressure on the handcuffs to keep my hand still, while two other policemen were leaning down on my arm and my hand. So that to them was construed as obstructing a police officer. So that was one of the so-called charges that was brought against me. So a court date was scheduled, even though I did not make a plea in the court that I was brought up to. I basically kept asking the judge questions. I wanted to know, understand the process, and can you proceed without me understanding what's going on? And they wouldn't answer any questions, and literally I was bundled out of there, and a court date was scheduled. The route I took was to notify the court that, as my understanding of from Halsbury's Laws of England, is that courts are administrative processes and not actual courts, and I'd be happy to come along to your so-called court if you can prove that it's not an unlawful administrative process as detailed in Halsbury's Laws of England. I'm happy to come along if you can prove it. They didn't, so I didn't. And let's say, I think it was 2 months or so went past, and at one night at midnight, I had 2 coppers. I think it was 2 coppers to start with, but 4 coppers eventually turn up at my house and essentially drag me away, even though I didn't sort of identify myself at all. But they dragged me away, took me to I believe to Hatfield eventually, and I was taken up to the court again, and I guess what the way he wanted to handle it, to teach me a lesson as such, was to put me on remand for 5, I think it was 6 days actually, and schedule a video conference hearing thing from the prison. So yeah, I was on remand for I think it was 6 days, and yeah, I got pulled up into the courtroom, and wasn't really allowed to speak, and they basically told me that it had been dealt with in my absence, and strangely enough, they only addressed the insurance issue and obstructing a police officer, and I believe they had to do that because they had to be able to justify the remand, since this is my own belief though, since that was the only I guess it was the only charge as such that they could that justified a custodial sentence. To answer, and I think somebody called Arnie J asked, did I get my car back? Now look, this is a process. It's an ongoing process. It's like a game of chess. And to answer the question, did it work? Did it win? As I said, it's a chess game. They have made a move, I make another move. They have to make counter with another move, and so on and so on and so on. No, I've not got my car back. I will get it back, because one of the things that I didn't do, and I think that comes across on the third video, is I didn't sign the seizure notice. So no, I didn't get my car back, not at this point. I will do. I'm sure they're just keeping hold of it to inconvenience me. I have also sent notices and letters to the police, basically demanding it back, because of there is an Act of Parliament. I think it's the Nala is going to remind me, I'm sure, 1688-89. It's the come on, Nala. It's the Bill of Rights Act, 1688-89, which basically says that you can't have your property seized without a conviction. So there was no conviction. So they have no claim on my property. So yes, there will be a follow-up. There will be me following up that issue. I'll explain what next steps. I'm not going to go into too much detail with the next steps, obviously, because this is an ongoing process. But since the stop, I have actually sent out bills to the particular police officer who actually entered into a contract. And if you look on the third video, you'll see that I enter into a contract with one police officer who asked me to get out of the car. So I basically informed him that I don't actually work for free, and if he wants me to get out of the car, it's going to cost him £20,000. And he said yes, okay, great. I thought so. I just happened to have my invoice pad in the car with me, so I wrote out an invoice, and he signed it. And later on, after I'd actually got out of the car, because as soon as I got his signature on the invoice, I fulfilled the contract by getting out of the car. So job done. And later on, he actually says in the video, I paid for you to get out here. Well, yes, he's admitted it, and no, he hasn't paid yet. So I have sent bills out to him, and I will be following up with it. So as I said, this is a process. It's not a thing that stops dead. because to answer the question, you know, does it work? Did you win? There is no such thing as a win. There is, no matter who tells you, you know, there is no such thing as a win. You know, you lose every time you come into contact with these people. Okay, yeah. At this point, I haven't won anything. You know, I haven't. There's been no benefit to me here, but we have to stand up to this. Okay, so I've got a couple of questions come in. One of them's from Paul. Basically, he asked, "Is a commercial lien an option in response to the theft of my car?" Yes, it is an option, and actually, it's my preferred option for that. As I said, the yes, actually, I said I have three sort of fronts on this. There's the 20,000 on the copper. There's something close to 3 million on the theft of a car, and there's 110,000 for the my incarceration. So, as I said, I'm going with three routes, and I think the commercial lien will be for probably for the theft of my car. Yeah. Again, I don't really want to say too much because you know, spoilers. Let's put it that way. Spoilers. One thing I will say, I was approached by somebody sort of fairly well known in the you know, in the truth movement, who very kind of angrily sort of rounded on me, saying that you know, I heard you got you know, you got put in prison for this driving thing. You know, how dare you keep put a video up on YouTube pretending that you know, you've had some success, and not saying about you know, that you got put in prison. I'm like, okay, let me address that, because I got pretty annoyed about that. So the thing is, as I said earlier on in this, I didn't do this to show that you know, I've got some kind of process that you know, had some success. I did this for me. You know, I documented it to show other people, but I actually did this for me to exercise my rights. You know, the rights that I forgot that I had. You know, I'm not doing this and trying to show that you know, I've been successful. You know, there is no win. I keep saying that there is no win. You know, and I don't. Yeah, I kind of got a little fed up with people who were saying, "Well, did you win? Did you win?" No, there is no win. Okay, you just got to keep playing.